morning. Excuse me, but I'm a little bit ill. I have some flu, that's why my voice is a little bit deep. But maybe do you understand my speech? So that's correct, the title is Shall the State Move? And if yes, how in the data economy? And by reviewing the agenda of the list of the speakers today's conference, I have come to the conclusion that it's the most useful if I bring up some aspects and questions from the state and the public administration point of view. I probably make some provocative ideas because I think that the gorgeous prospect of the digital future are able to make our way of thinking unshaded or too uncomplex, one-sided. And that is what I consider a serious danger due to sustainability of systems. First, I have to say about three challenges. The first is posture. First of all, let's talk about the posture and the attitude of the state, the governance. There is a state, the Hungary. There is a state with 1,000-year history and with a tormented and difficult past century. There is government which considers the family, homeland, and may I say, the Christianity valuable and protects these values. If a government of this type meets a robust global process as digitalization, which is rearranging almost everything, all the world, the first posture is refrainment, careful tracking and the distancing by the government. I think it's more or less normal. However, digitalization, to our present knowledge, isn't like a summer storm, which is approaching in a frightening way but fades away soon. The digitalization cloud settled in the valleys, and this will be the new climate, I think so. Therefore, the Hungarian government decided in 2015, may I say, by seeing the strangely lit Elizabeth Bridge, do you remember maybe? Namely that what the strong emotions can be triggered by an aim of public politics related to the digital ecosystem drafted in an accurate way has changed its posture. The activist government, as the Hungarian government, is another branches of state operation, also wants to be one of the initiators of digitalization. This is what the Digital Success Program is about, led by the Tamás Deutsch as the Prime Minister Commissioner, namely and simply that in Hungary, by the good governance, the Hungarian nation, people, communities and enterprises shall be winners and get their position in the new global division of labor. I think it doesn't a question. It's especially true for the data economy within digitalization, which by now it may be the most global part thereof. As a consequence, it's the right way if the state and proactive actor, sometimes an engine, sometimes brake, sometimes just car body, and rather resistant power against unfair phenomenon with an adequate sense of proportion. Based on above, let me mention to my mind, three most important challenges from public administration point of view, which shall be answered with the great commitment in the near future. So that the state and the public administration that makes it work shall be able to stand stable and with flexible knees even against the mainstream waves coming from any bad or not really good direction. The first challenge, may summarize it, the eyesight of public administration, retina. At first, let's understand what and how public administration can see. Public administration can see the world by laws. In broad sense, I also include the strategies mostly embodied, incorporated in laws. As the light gets to the brain through the retina, so gets the inducement, the public administration to the machinery of the state through the laws goes. The Hungarian and the mass democracies, especially those that have recovered from the totalitarian regime lately, have a serious dogmatic system for handling information and data from public policy view. Personal data, sensitive data, confidential data, public data in public interest, etc. This means that the public political interpretation of the singular data is definitely fine, although here is the legislation also some lags behind. In contrast, regarding the data crowd, data multitude, big data, we haven't defined the basic definitions and the legal instruments institutes yet. Not even a single looks come under retina in this topic. But it's especially necessary to clarify how the state will use and utilize it, namely by itself produced data possessions. How does the national data possessions work, behave as a legal phenomenon? In fact, like the property, for example, the treasure of the earth, the uterus, or is it such a public domain like, for example, the exterior side of our monuments, for example, the parliament? From the other side, which private data possessions can be used in public interest? And how as, for instance, line servitude in the case of real estates, for example? Well, one of the most interesting questions of data economy, I think, is that how the state will grab and describe the industrial economic operation of data, especially the data multitude, which is new quality itself, not first of all technologically, not sociologically, and not even philosophically, but legally, by legal instrument institutes. And when we have the legal framework, we will be able to define what kind of organization, what kind of task, what kind of progress, and by what kind of step we will be performed. The second challenge is the higher heart rate and new different reflexes of the public administration. The changes created by digitalization are fast and multiple, faster than former changes in the course of human technology history. Moreover, since the digitalization has constantly, abundantly been fueled by data economy, this progress is just getting faster. And the states, public administrations have to or should respond to it at least at the same time and same speed. I would like to make it clear that in the history of the mankind, there have already been similar great changes. It's just the expansion rate that seems bigger than previously. It's enough if we compare, may I highlight it with the quite bad joke, the expansion of the Gutenberg and Zuckerberg galaxies. The reaction time of most of the public administration operated by checks and balances is extremely slow compared thereto. And in addition to this slow reaction time, if the directing politics misunderstand the nature of the phenomenon, it may be sometimes an obstacle. Like, for example, in the case of the state software management purchase or the regulation of the free flow of data at the Estonian EU presidency. And at this time, the political reflex movement takes effect in the wrong direction. Well, the state needs not only new legal institutes to able to promote the healthy development of data economy, but by understanding it, but there is need for new kind of legal institution that are fast, controllable, which proportionate to the public interest and which make effective state intervention. These complete those classic four toolbar, namely the legislation, the law enforcement, resource distribution, direct statement enforcement, which we are currently operating. It may easily be that these new legal instruments will be algorithms developing and developed by artificial intelligence. And the third challenge, the driving instinct of public administration. When we are looking for what the real internal movement of certain dimensions lives of human society is driven by below the level consciousness as an instinct, we can simply say that in case of individual, it's emotion, in politics, the desire for power, dominance, and in public administration, this is, I think, the instinct, the completion of information, desire for legally correct data. That is, to have the exact facts to decide what and how to act, public administration. Of course, this is much more powerful, but this only thread is enough for my presentation. The point is here that I can play a major role in the functioning of the state robotization because both robots and the administration are eating and living on basically poor and nutrition data. What does this mean in the functioning of the state? Data system and robotization are mutually reinforcing each other. That is the most striking area of the state operation and development of public administration will be automation of processes in the immediate future. I don't know exactly what happened in Lyon after 1805 in the textile factory when they introduced the punch card on looms, or after 1913 in the Ford factory when Joseph Galamp formed ribbons, because I was not there and I'm not economic historian. But with fewer people and more secured quality products could be created. It is also true that the robotic administration sped up that by data will not only have a fraction of the current human job, not only less professional error, coherence distribution, but also because it will work faster by paying more attention to several aspects and more tailored, profiled, due to better information management system. As a result, competitive states need to develop its poor, deep-seated and rapidly flowing data economical blood circulation in its own operation. The above mentioned shows only 3 important new approaches that will, in the next 5 or 10 years, fundamentally encompass some public administration, primarily including external and internal functioning of public administration. I have not spoken about the data protection, cybersecurity, infrastructure by data industry, because they are not specific to public administration against the above mentioned 3 years. Thank you for your attention.